There is a very strong sociology effect that takes place when buyers are choosing a home to purchase. And I think not only are buyers agents missing how to help their clients, their buyers, correctly identify places they would actually most be happy with, but I think listing agents are completely missing the mark almost all the time. If you think about it, how is it that a home in the MLS, on Zillow, Redfin, Homes.com, wherever, is described? It's square footage, how recently it might be updated. It's the bedroom bath count, what kind of countertops it has. It has a big backyard. It has a low maintenance backyard, meaning it has fake grass or it's small or something like that. And what school districts you would attend if you had children and you owned that home and lived there. What we've gotten away from is actually talking about neighborhood dynamics, because when you really speak with buyers that have made a decision to purchase, and you go back and you interview people who have bought over the last 5-6 years about their actual happiness with the home, the ones that one will be the most cooperative in negotiations and be the happiest at the end and are more likely to give their agents credit for the help are the ones that made the purchase because they were getting the lifestyle they wanted. And that lifestyle is different for everybody. And almost every home that's available has some sort of lifestyle addition to be able to sell that will make it correct for a certain type of buyer. So I think about the homes, which are condos north south of my office right this moment, that are on a golf course. So is my office. The people who live in those homes like to be able to look out their back patio windows and sliding door and walk out onto a patio, and they dig potted plants. They don't need a bunch of grass in the backyard, and they like to see people golfing. They like the golf carts. They like the gated community. They like the quietness. They like the HOA restrictions on how many cars can be in the driveway and the colors that you can paint your unit. They like the conforming, they like the predictable, and they like the golf lifestyle for a lot of them. That's a lot different from maybe a family that is moving to an area that likes to have lots of people over and wants to get to know their neighbors. They want to have barbecues. They want to be able to have big speakers in their backyard during the summer and throw a party. Or like even in my case, when I was younger, I played in bands as a partial career most of my life. Now I've since more or less retired, but my son is a drummer. So moving to an area to where you need to talk to the neighbors and you need to explain that there's going to be a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds that come over and they're going to be playing sometimes not well rehearsed rock and roll music in the garage, and my son's going to be practicing drums, and that sort of thing is kind of important. And I got lucky where I live right now. My next door neighbor, not only are him and his wife phenomenal people, but he's a professional drummer who's retired as well. So they love it. And there are parties in our neighborhood, and there are people that have pools where they have music playing and you can hear the kids laughing and splashing. And we're the kind of family that likes that sort of thing. So we feel connected to the neighborhood. Maybe in another 10 years, I won't. Maybe in another 10 years, I'm going to want a more prim and proper, we don't need to talk to the neighbors. I want every home to look the same. I want zero maintenance on any of the yards. Maybe that's what I'd want. But when you're able to identify these particular uniquenesses of a neighborhood and a home, just outside of what the home offers itself, you will find that buyers are more willing to buy when they buy into the lifestyle and the culture of the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, the square footage and the bedroom and bath count matter less and less. So if you're planning on selling your home, I think it would be wise to not only get your opinion, but also a third party opinion from your agent who goes by in the mornings, on weekends, at night, and can combine what you see with what a third party sees and be able to direct that correctly with advertising and marketing so that the right buyer identifies your home. And also for you buyers out there looking, this is why I always suggest one of the first things to do, you think you like a home, that's great. You saw it on Tuesday late morning. Perfect, write the offer, but you need to go back at like 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Not because of crime. You want to see what the neighborhood looks like. Are people coming home from work? During the summer, as the sun starts going down, are there people in their pools? Are there people hanging out front? Are there a lot of cars parked on the street? What goes on here? You want to get a vibe, because once you understand that vibe, you'll know whether or not the house is right for you, regardless if it's perfect.